About 64% of you right now are probably using Google Chrome to browse the web. But did you know how it all started? And that Google's CEO at the time, Eric Schmidt, opposed the development of Google Chrome for 6 years? He simply didn't want to compete with other browsers at the time. But luckily for us, he changed his mind after developers showed to him a demo. So let's go back in 2008, when it all begins. In September 2008, Google sends a 38-page comic book to journalists and bloggers made by Scott McCloud to explain features of Google's new web browser. You can find the link to this comic in the description of this video. After 4 years in development, Sundar Pichai, which was a vice president product manager at the time, and today Google's CEO, announced why they build Chrome in the first place. You see, the internet at the time was evolving rapidly, from text-based websites from the 90s to more engaging web-based applications like YouTube, Gmail, and many others. So they wanted something that is modern, faster, and more secure than other browsers on the market. Google Chrome was first released as a beta on Windows XP on September 2nd, 2008, and on December 11th, 2008, as a public stable release. In 2010, Chrome was released for macOS and Linux, and in 2012 for mobile operating systems Android and iOS. Did you know that Google Chrome is basically an extended version of another Google browser named Chromium? So what is the difference then? They are very similar, but the key difference is that Chromium is open source, and Google adds some Google services and some licensed codec on top of Chromium and create another version just named Google Chrome. Just like Google, any other software company can create their own version for free, and if you see the top 10 browsers today, you will see that many of them are built on top of Google's Chromium browser. One of the key components of every web browser is the rendering engine, which purpose is to transform code into the website that we all see. In the beginning, Google implemented an open source rendering engine named WebKit, which is made by Apple for their Safari browser. In 2013, they made their own engine base of WebCore, also made by Apple, and name it Blink. Today, Blink is in use in every version of Google Chrome except one for iOS, because Apple doesn't allow third-party browsers on the App Store if they don't use their WebKit. Typical Apple. Some of the cool new features that we take for granted today, but it was very innovative in 2008, is so-called Omnibox and the incognito mode. Omnibox is just the address bar and search box fused together, so the browser knows when you are trying to search for something and when you are trying to go to a website directly. One thing that you can do with this, type, for example, youtube.com and press Tab on your keyboard. Now you are searching YouTube directly from your Chrome. Incognito mode is just a separate window that doesn't track your web history and doesn't store any cookies of websites that you visit, and you don't want anyone else to know about it. 1 year after Google Chrome, Google announced Chrome OS, which is an operating system based on Linux, and have Chrome as the main user interface. If you think about it, most of the things you do on your desktop are around web applications. And if you don't use desktop applications at all, you should definitely check out Chrome OS. Also, in 2016, they added support for Android apps, so you can try that now. First, Chromebooks, Chrome OS-based laptops, started appearing in 2011. And we should also mention Chromebox, which is a desktop variant, and Chromebase, which is an all-in-one solution. The last piece of hardware that has Chrome in its name is Chromecast, a small device that you can plug in your TV via HDMI and stream content from your Chrome browser or from your Android phone. Now back to the browser itself. If you ever lost your internet connection, or just type this line into your address bar, you will see an error page that looks like this. If you press space on the keyboard, you will activate the Infinite Runner game with Little T-Rex. This was actually a problem at one point, and Google developers needed to add an option for Chrome so teachers can disable this little game. because kids in schools with Chromebooks would disconnect from the internet and play the game during class. Kids, huh? That's it for this video. If you want to see more interesting stories like this, please subscribe.